Hello students, in the last videos we discussed about the projectile motion for a projectile fired at an angle theta with the horizontal, that is the oblique projection. We have discussed about the oblique projection, and in that we got the trajectory of the projectile. It shows us a parabolic path and the time of flight, horizontal range, maximum height, that we have discussed. In this video we will go for another case, that is the horizontal projection. As I have already told in the last videos, that we will discuss two cases. One is the oblique projection, in that already we have discussed, and here we will go for the horizontal projection. What is that horizontal projection? Projectile fired horizontally from the top of a tower. Means you are at a top of a tower, you are on the top of a tower or on the roof of your building, and you project you project a projectile horizontally. Horizontally means you are giving horizontal velocity. Means I am standing on the, suppose I am standing on the top of the tower and I have given a initial velocity. The case is like that. So suppose this is the top of the tower. Suppose this is the top, this is your ground, and this is the tower. So in this tower, this is the body or the projectile, a point object is projected horizontally, means you are giving the velocity horizontally, that is u. We will discuss this case, that is the horizontal projection. And from this top of the tower, it has a certain height. From the certain height you have given only the initial velocity. See, here you can say there are two cases may be possible. Two cases means you can say that it may be like that. Suppose you can say, instead of taking a horizontal velocity, if I give a velocity at certain angle like this, theta, then the case is different. You have given a velocity like this, the case is different. I am not discussing about this thing. I will discuss this one which is in our syllabus with a velocity u. So it is given a velocity u like this. So under this, what happens here? Now think about, when the projectile is projected with a horizontal velocity, what are the forces acting on that? As in projectile motion, it is under the gravity. The motion is under the gravity. There is no other force acting on the body, and we are neglecting that. Suppose it is moving in the air medium or in your atmosphere, there is some resistance from the atmosphere, there is some forces from other source, wind is, suppose the wind is blowing, or the air resistance, that we are not considering. We only consider the force due to gravity. As there is one force acting on this projectile, so now you have given a velocity u horizontally, that is one motion. The other one is the vertical force. That vertical force is the force of gravity. That force of gravity gives an acceleration along vertical direction, downward. Horizontally the motion is u, and vertically the acceleration is because of the force of gravity, that is the acceleration due to gravity, g. So because of these two motions, one is horizontal velocity, the other one is the vertical acceleration. The vertical acceleration, that under the action of the two motions, the body will follow a path like this, and it hit to the ground like here. It will hit to the ground here. So this is the position where it hit the ground. Okay. So let us consider the height be the height of the tower from where it is projected, right? And let it hit the ground at the point A, suppose, and this is the point of projection O. This is the point of projection O. Clear? So from O, it is projected, hit the ground at A. Suppose it hit the ground at A. Clear? So from this, we will discuss some of the cases. First, we will find the, in this case, okay, before we find these different cases, so the motion is under the two motions, that is, one is the horizontal velocity, the other one is the acceleration due to gravity. While considering all these things, now I have shifted the coordinate system like that. This is my reference line. Anything measured above positive, below negative. So this is like this is your axis. Suppose this is your x-axis, and here this is the plus y-axis, and here this is your minus y-axis. So anything below this, we are considering this as a negative. That we have to assume. Okay. To use the sign convention. Okay. Some of you have a doubts in about the sign convention. So take the sign convention. What we are using in the beginning, that I will end up to the end. I will use the same sign convention. And let me make it clear. Sign convention means it is as per our convenient. We can use a simple logic to use plus or minus sign. Okay. So there is no definite rule that why above this you are considering this as a plus, below this y minus. You can take as per your convenience. No, I will consider this is plus, this will be minus. So it is up to you. But once you have considered one sign convention, that should be till the end. That is my point. So now I will go for the trajectory of the projectile. First I will go for the trajectory of the projectile. What is the trajectory of the projectile? First I will discuss. Now let us consider here the motion of the projectile is in the plane, and let the projectile is thrown horizontally with an initial velocity u from the top of a tower of height h, and as it moves, it covers the horizontal distance. As it with a velocity u, it covers the horizontal distance because of this u, and the vertical distance because of the acceleration due to gravity. So let it takes time t to reach at the point A. It means the projectile takes time t to reach at A. And suppose this distance is your x, and the distance, suppose this distance I have considered this as y, which is equal to your h. You can say this is your y because it is y axis. So y distance and x distance. So let the time taken by the projectile to reach at A is t. So under this, the horizontal distance traveled traveled by the projectile in time t is equal to x. I have considered this as a x. The vertical distance traveled, what is the vertical distance traveled in time t, in the same time t is equal to y. So at time t is equal to 0, it is projected, it is fired, it covers x distance horizontally, and vertical distance is y in this path. Okay, vertically downward. Clear? Now the motion of the projectile in the plane, I can write this as two equations. The equations I can write like this: the motion of the projectile, because of U gives horizontal, G gives vertical. So accordingly I will write, so Sx distance is equal to Ux t plus half acceleration along x into t square. X is equal to ut plus half at square. In the plane, let me write here, in the plane, because there are x and y coordinate in the plane, and Sy is equal to Uyt plus half Ayt square. I can write like this. So accordingly, for horizontal motion, now I am finding about the trajectory. So for horizontal motion, what I can write here? Now you see here, for horizontal motion, what is this Sx? The distance is your x is equal to what is Ux? It has given a velocity u. As you know, the horizontal velocity is uniform. Why it is uniform? What is the force acting on this projectile? The gravitational force. The gravitational force is in vertical direction. So vertical direction means the velocity is u is in this direction. There is only one motion, and another force is acting like here. So if this force, that is the gravitational force, I can write Fg. If this force has any component along this direction? No. If there is a vector A, what is the component of the vector along this direction? A cos 90, because it is 90. 90 is 0, so it has any component? No. So accordingly, the gravitational force has no component horizontally. So horizontally there is no acceleration. If there is no acceleration, there is no change in velocity. No acceleration means no change in velocity. That is the things you have to remember, right? You have to practice these things. Now, so x is equal to, I can write ut time t plus 0. Why? Acceleration x is equal to 0. What I have taken here? Ux is equal to u and ax is equal to 0. Along x-axis there is no acceleration. So x is equal to ut, or this implies t is equal to x by u. Clear? This is t is equal to x by u. This is equation 1. For this direction, for y, now you say here, this sy obviously is equal to what I will take? Minus y. Why? Because vertical motion is downward. As I already told, this is the my x axis, origin is O, and this is plus y, and this is minus y. So accordingly, I have considered this distance, right? So remember this thing. Otherwise, you go back to check what I have told in the beginning. Then uy, what is the component of u along y-axis? This minus y or plus y, 0. No component, vertical component. There is no vertical component for a velocity. So uy is equal to 0. What is ay? Always minus g. As per our sign convention, it is vertically downward. So accordingly that, now you put that in this expression, what I will get? Minus y is equal to 0 minus half g t square. So y is equal to half g t square. This is equation 2. Putting equation 1 in equation 2. Putting equation 1 in equation 2. What I will get? Y is equal to half g. What is my t square? X square by u square. So this is equal to, y is equal to, I can write k x square, where k is equal to a constant. What is that constant? It's half g by u square. U has given an initial velocity, that is constant. So g is constant. Once the acceleration due to gravity is thrown is constant, it is thrown means g is always constant, u is constant, so all are constant, so y is equal to kx square. So this is a equation where the second order in x, first order in y, and this is an equation of a parabola, the equation of a parabola. This is the equation of a parabola, but it has no consist of an first order of x like in your oblique projection. In oblique projectile, there is another part is y is equal to, let me go again, ax minus bx square. Degree 1 in x, 2 in y, x, 1 in y. So this is a parabola symmetric about a vertical line. So there we got like this, symmetric about this vertical line. But here only 2, degree 2 of x and degree 1 of a y. So we will get half of this portion like. So this is the equation of a parabola. So I can write the trajectory is parabolic, isn't it? The trajectory is parabolic. Clear? So the path followed by the projectile is parabolic. Is that clear? So we have got this trajectory of the projectile. Now I will go for the, let me go for the time of flight. So now I will go for this time of flight. Time of flight. What is this flight? Time of flight means, what is this time of flight means? Definition, what you can say? How much the time it is in flight mode? Means the time taken by the projectile to complete its trajectory, or the time during which the projectile is above the ground after projecting from the top of the tower. Okay, so we can say that the time taken by the projectile to complete its trajectory. Time taken to complete its trajectory. Clear? To complete its trajectory. So to do that, let h be the height. Now we will not go for this x and y distance. Here I have considered this y is equal to h. So here let h be the height of the tower, and the time taken by the projectile to complete the trajectory, or the time taken by the projectile to hit the ground, be, let that be your t. So let t, capital T, be the time taken by the projectile to hit the ground. So as this is the vertical motion, because it covers vertical, so I will consider only the y parts or vertical coordinates, vertical parts, that is y. So the equation of motion, Sy is equal to uy into t plus half ay into t square. So as per your sign convention, Sy is equal to your minus, how much distance? H, and minus h. This is the origin line of reference. Below this line of reference, this is not here, ground is not line of reference, it is projected here. So I will consider this is the x-axis, origin is this one, and this is positive y, this is minus y. So it is moving minus y. So this is Sy is equal to minus h. And t, obviously I have taken the time taken, t is equal to capital T, time of flight, and ay, that is your always vertically downward acceleration, minus g. So if you put that, minus h is equal to, and obviously uy, there is no component along y-axis, velocity is always u, always at everywhere it is u, like that. So it is a uniform horizontal, right? So minus h is equal to 0 minus half g t square, or h equal to half g t square, t is equal to 2h by g root over. So this is the time of flight. So thus, when a body is projected horizontally from the top of a tower, the time taken by it to reach the ground, is independent of the velocity with which it is thrown, because this time has no u component, no u part. So it is independent of u. Means, if I have given a velocity, initial velocity at the top of tower, horizontal initial velocity 25 kilometer per second, and you have given a velocity 23 kilometer per second or 50 kilometer per or 50 meter per second to the projectiles. Then in that case, to hit the ground from the same height, it will take the same time. Means the case is like that. It may be a simple objective question. From the same height, one is thrown with a velocity u1, another one is thrown with a velocity u2. The direction is horizontally same, yes, but the magnitudes are different. Then it will take the same time to reach the ground. Because it is independent of u, another thing. So, but it depends upon the height. If both are projected from the same height. But another thing, it is not independent of mass. If there are two bodies of different mass projected horizontally from the top of a same tower, of height, then the two bodies reach the ground simultaneously, because it is independent of mass. There is no mass factor. Yes. Next we will go for the another part. We will find out the horizontal range. What is this horizontal range? Already you know. Range means this distance is called as your range. That is your R, horizontal range. That part I will find. So next is your horizontal range. Are you getting? Okay. So the horizontal distance covered by the projectile, it is the horizontal distance covered by the projectile. Horizontal distance covered by the projectile. From where? From the foot of the tower to the, from the foot of the tower, from the foot of the tower to the what? From the foot of the tower where it is projected to the ground, where it hit the ground. So the horizontal distance covered by the projectile from the foot of the tower where it is projected, to the ground where it hit to the ground, that distance we will calculate. Okay, so let me read this part. So let me write the values what we will take. So here horizontal means we will consider here what? I will only consider the horizontal parts. So the equation of motion, here it is the horizontal range means the equation of motion, Sx is equal to, as we are considering x, ux into t plus half x into t square, because these are the vectors. So we have considered only the x component of this vector quantities. So this is the displacement, so like that. So here in this case, this Sx is equal to s plus r, ux always uniform, that is u, and ax, there is no acceleration along x-axis, that is 0. And what is the time it has taken to reach this one? Here this t is equal to, already you know that time is t, capital T, means this is the time of flight to reach here. Already you derived this, this is the time of flight. So using this one, r is equal to u into t. So r is equal to u, already you have derived this t. What is this t? T is equal to root over 2h by root over 2h by g. So this is the horizontal range. What it shows you? The horizontal range of the projectile projected horizontally from a certain height increases with the increase in its velocity. So as I have already discussed the case like this, if this is the case, so if you have given a velocity u1, so here suppose this is the range r1. Suppose someone has given a velocity u2 which is smaller than u1. u2 is smaller than u1. So the range also decreases here. This will be your r2. That is my point. But the time of flight is same. What time it takes to reach here? This also the same time. The two cases 1 and 2 has take the same time because it is independent of you. But the range depends on you, which is directly proportional to you. If this h and g are constant from the same height, it is projected, right? Then we will find the instantaneous velocity. Instantaneous velocity means what is the resultant velocity at a point? Instantaneous velocity. What is the instantaneous velocity? It is the velocity, means we can say this is the resultant velocity at a instant of time t. That at an instant of time t. Let us consider the projectile reach at a point P. Let the projectile reach at a point P. Let me take like this. Let the projectile reach at the point P in an instant of time t. At that instant, what is its velocity or the resultant velocity at the point P, that we have to calculate. Let us consider it is projected with velocity u, and when it reach here, let this is the velocity v. This is the velocity v. Clear? So I have considered this. Let me make another color. So this is the velocity v, which is a tangential. Always we will consider this is the velocity v. Okay, to reach at the point P in time t. So obviously there are two components of v. One is along x-axis, that is your vx, and this is along y-axis, that is your vy. And let this makes an angle beta with vx. So I will find the resultant velocity at p, right? So let at any instant t, let at any instant t, the projectile at p, the projectile at p, and the horizontal direction vx. Now what is this v at p, and the velocity at p is, we have considered this as a v, which has two components vx and vy. V is always tangential to that point. If you take this point p here, then you will show this is the velocity v like this. This is tangential. So it has two components vx and vy. Now for this vx, x component, okay. So for motion along x-axis, for motion along x-axis or motion along horizontally, for motion along horizontal, for motion angle along this horizontal, what I will say, vx, final velocity vx is equal to ux plus ax into t. So this case vx is equal to ux plus ax into t. So if you put here, what is this ux? Initial velocity, that is u along x-axis, right? And this x is equal to 0. So this we can put here, that vx is equal to u plus 0, or this implies vx is equal to u. Always uniform, so no need to find, to check, always this velocity u is uniform at every point. Next, for motion along vertical, for motion along vertical, for motion along vertical, vy is equal to uy plus ay into t. So on that assumptions, vy is equal, so we will find, so this vy, sorry, this is not, okay, vx. So ui is what here? Ui is equal to 0. What is along y-axis? Initially it is u which is equal to ux. Then what is this vertical component? Initially ui is equal to 0. So ui is equal to 0. Ay is equal to minus g, vertically downward. So if you put all these things, what I will get here? So vy is equal to ui is 0 plus into minus, so this is minus gt square. Vy is equal to minus. So again another sign convention I have to put here. Vy, let me write here. What is this vy? It is vertically downward. So can I put this as minus b, minus vy along the according to sign convention. So this is minus vy. So that is the sign convention. This implies minus vy is equal to minus gt square. So this will give us, this implies vy is equal to gt square. So we got this vx and vy, isn't it? So we got this vx is equal to u, vy is equal to gt square, right? So sorry, not g to gt, not t square, gt na. So this is equal to vy is equal to gt. So after knowing these two, what is v? As vx and vy are the two rectangular components of v, then if vx and vy are the two rectangular, so this is your v, this is vx, this is vy, and you have considered this as beta. So vx and vy are the two rectangular components. Then what is the v? V is equal to, I can write vx I cap plus vy j cap. So this vy j cap is along negative x-axis, negative y-axis. So I can write this as a minus vy j cap. So here we can consider this v is equal to two components vx and vy. So along this I cap is the unit vector along x-axis and j cap is the unit vector along y-axis. Why I put this minus j? Because it is the minus y-axis. So I have put this right. So what is the magnitude of this v? So v is equal to magnitude equal to square root of vx square plus vy square. That already we have discussed. So this v is equal to vx is equal to u square and vy square is equal to g square t square square. So this is the expression for our velocity. Okay. So that is called as the instantaneous velocity at a time t. Then what is the angle it makes with the horizontal? Vx is horizontal or u is horizontal or with the ground. So what angle it makes? That beta. So to know this beta, as you already know in the parallelogram law, of vector. So as you know that if you complete that as a parallelogram, this is v. Then beta means if beta is the angle made by v be to the horizontal, that is horizontal, or to the horizontal, that is your bx, then tan beta is equal to vy by bx. That already you know that, because vy sin theta sin 90 by vx plus vy cos 90 is 0. That already you know that. So this implies, you can write tan beta is equal to, what is vy? That is your gt and vx is your u, or beta is equal to tan inverse gt by u. So this is the expression for angle made by the instantaneous velocity of the particle. Okay. So in this way we have to calculate the instantaneous velocity, its magnitude and its direction. Okay. After getting all these things, then now I will go for another part, that the velocity with which it will hit the ground. What is the velocity at this point A? So don't think that velocity of the projectile, so let me write here velocity of the projectile, velocity of the projectile, velocity of the projectile when it hit the ground, when it hit the ground. So here you see here one thing I have to make it clear, that if the projectile is projected with the velocity u at this point O, now when it reaches the ground at A, what you will find, when you see that projectile, you will find that the projectile is at rest on the ground. But is its final velocity 0? No, it has a velocity. Because of the resistance, a force by the ground, it comes to rest, but it has a velocity. It means I have to find the velocity of the projectile when it hit the ground, means just before hitting the ground. That's the case, like just before hitting the ground. Clear? So on that part, what I will take consider here. So before this means at this point, so let this is the velocity like this, and this is one component, this is another component, right? So let this velocity, suppose I will consider this as a b. Okay, so before hitting the ground, let the velocity, forget about this part. Okay, so now I consider, let me make it clear about again. So this is the ground from where it is the tower is there of height h. Yes, we have considered this height as h, right? And the projectile has given an initial velocity of u horizontally, and it hit the ground here at the point A. So now here my point is, before hitting the ground, what is its velocity? So now this is the velocity, suppose b. So again it has two components, Vx and Vy. So in this way we have to calculate the velocity v. That value we will find. Clear? So here what we will do here, when the projectile hit the ground, which is thrown horizontally from the top, so at the point O, then the height of the tower is h. It takes the time of flight. What is the time of flight? Its time of flight t. Suppose you can consider this as t, that is equal to 2h by g root over 2h by g root over to hit the ground, and the horizontal component of velocity, horizontal component of velocity that is Vx. You do the same thing here. Vx is equal to ux plus ax into t. Here you have to take this ux is always u, uniform, and ax, no acceleration along horizontally, no force along horizontally, and t, time of flight. So we here the not the instantaneous, it is before the hitting the ground. Okay. So in that flat, if you put that, your Vx is equal to u plus 0, or this implies Vx is equal to u. Then vertical component of velocity, vertical component of velocity, Vy is equal to uy plus ay into t. Again you the same thing concept here, that Vy, right? So here again the sign convention Vy, right, that is negative, minus Vy minus Vy. So the sign convention I am putting here. Uy, no, 0, ay minus g, and t, obviously small t is equal to time of flight, the total time it takes to hit the ground. So that is your t. So according to that, if I put here Vy, I will get this as clear. Vy is equal to 0, that is uy 0. So this is obviously minus Vi according to sign convention, minus g into t, or Vy is equal to g. What is your t? T is equal to root over 2h by g. That is the time taken. Clear? So by putting all these things, I can write this is equal to root over 2h. G means it is g square inside, by g, so that g get cancelled. So Vy is equal to root over 2hg. Clear? So that is your Vy. So what is the resultant velocity now? The resultant velocity V is equal to resultant velocity V, resultant velocity B at A, at the point where it hit the ground, at A, V is equal to, again they are perpendicular, Vx square plus Vy square. So this is equal to root over Vx square is obviously u square, Vx, and Vy square equal to root over 2h0 whole square, that is equal to root 2 plus 2gh. So V is equal to, I can write this is equal to u square plus 2gh. And what is direction also you can find? At what direction? Suppose I take this as a beta. So the direction will, with what direction it will hit the ground. At what direction means you can say for point object it is not a meaning of this thing. So you can take also tan beta. Okay, tan beta is equal to Vy by Vx, that is equal to root over 2hg by u, root over 2hg by u. So this is my derivations of all these parts for a horizontal projectile. Clear? Okay students, so we discussed all about the horizontal projectile, and similarly in the last section when the oblique projectile case, if in the same case, in the oblique projectile case, I have not derived this part, in the oblique projectile case, think that if I will take in an oblique projectile, yes, this is x-axis and this is along y-axis, and the projectile is projected like this. So it has a given velocity u. Yes, that is the oblique projectile. So here also you can find what is the velocity before it hit the ground. Suppose it is O and suppose it is A. At A, what is its velocity? And by our concept we can say that with what velocity it is projected, with an angle theta with the horizontal, so this velocity goes on like this and it reaches the maximum height, right? Then it come back and it hit here. So here what happens, u like this, at this point what is the component only? U cos theta. Here it is u cos theta obviously, here it is u sin theta. So at this point what is the vertical component? This u sin theta is equal to 0, this is not there. So this is a case like that, its velocity u here, it is u cos theta, and always remember this cos theta is less than 90, so this value is always less than u, because this is the maximum value is 1. Always the value of cos theta is less than 1 provided the angle should be less than 90, and you are projecting less than 90, so it is always less than 1. So means it has a velocity u, it goes on to the maximum height. At this maximum height the velocity decreases, decreases like that. So what is kinetic energy at this point? Half mv square. Half mv square means kinetic energy, you can say half m u square cos square theta, half mv square. What is the kinetic energy here? Half m, only u square, it has u, but here only one component u cos theta, u sin theta goes to 0. So its kinetic energy also decreases. Then at that highest point the velocity decreases like that, it decreases, then it comes along this path, time of descent. In the time of ascent velocity decreases, then time of descent the velocity again goes on increasing, then where it hits, at the same level it hits. So if a body is projected with velocity u, then at the same time at this point it has the same velocity u, at the same level it will come with the same velocity. Yes, it will come with the same velocity provided it has only the force action under the force due to gravity. So in that way you can show that it has a velocity like your, this is the case like your, you can say this is u but the direction is opposite. It hit the ground with the same velocity u. You can show that. Yes, you can show by taking this as your homework. That also you can find. Clear? So in that way we have discussed about the projectile motion for oblique projectile and for a projectile fired at an angle theta. So for oblique projectile and for a projectile fired horizontally from the top of a tower. Next part is that, suppose another homework if I will give you, that if the projectile is projected with some angle, that is a question comes in your mind, that from the height, right? So if you take, this is the top of the tower and the projectile, this is your horizontal. If the projectile is projected like this, u at an angle theta with the horizontal, then what is the projectile? So it will go like this, it will hit the point A. In that case, what you will take, at every point it has theta, means u cos theta, and the vertical component is your u sin theta. By considering this u cos theta and u sin theta, u cos theta horizontally, u sin theta vertically upward, like that, you can find also all these cases for the projectile fired at an angle theta at a certain height from the top of a tower. Okay, so okay students, go through, there are some other questions are like that. In the next video we will go for a problem discussion of some numericals problems on this projectile motion. Thank you students.